7 News at 11 starts now.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us on this Monday night. I'm Mark Mullen. Okay, so as San Diegans, we have become pretty accustomed to paying a pretty penny to live here, right? In the place dubbed America's finest city. And tonight we're getting new data that shows just how much it costs for families to live here. The United Way recently released its real cost measure report to give what they call an accurate depiction of the cost of living here in San Diego. NBC 7's Amari Fleming has a look at what the numbers say.
Well, that United Way study shows that more than 30% of families here in San Diego County are struggling to meet their own needs. That study also shows that a family of four needs to earn more than $100,000 in order to make ends meet.
It's expensive.
The price of living in America's finest city is financially frustrating for Brittany Magoya, even though she and her husband combined make more than $100,000 a year.
Even with the increases, it's still just like, I make more money, but now I'm spending more money. So it's like you can't get ahead. You just continue to make just enough to get by.
Times are tight for a lot of people. According to this new report from the United Way of California, 307,000 households in San Diego County, or 31%, don't earn enough money to cover basic living expenses, things like housing, childcare, food, transportation, and health care.
It's a call to action.
Although the federal poverty line in San Diego County is $30,900 a year, the study says the real cost measure, or the amount of money a household of two adults with two kids would need to earn, is a little more than $116,000 a year. That's more than the median household income of $108,000 a year. To make ends meet, the study shows families would have to work 3 jobs.
Between this amount.
United Way's San Diego CEO Nancy Sasaki says little will likely change when minimum wage increases to $17.75 next year.
It might make some decisions easier, but I think families are still going to be in that situation where they're trading off how much food do I get versus paying the rent, how much child care am I able to pay for versus food on the table.
The study also found that 42% of households spend more than 30% of their income on housing. And when you have two kids, child care at $19,000 a year is a family's second highest expense.
It's a call to look at the reality of what it costs. It's a call to try and do what you can. If you're running a business, are there things you can do to help maybe cover all of the health insurance costs of your employees? Maybe it's considering putting an on-site daycare.
Daycare top of mind for Brittany. She says her husband may stay at home to care for their second child on the way. They're also rethinking calling San Diego home.
It's kind of a battle. My husband wants to stay. I don't want to stay. I would like to leave and live somewhere where, gas is less than $4.
Now, you may have noticed the huge difference between the federal poverty line of $30,900 a year and the real cost measure of $116,000 a year. Well, the United Way says the difference is that the federal poverty line only takes into account the cost of food versus the real cost measure, which takes into account things like health care, food, transportation, housing, and taxes. Omari Fleming, NBC 7.
And for folks needing help making ends meet, the United Way San Diego is hosting a free seminar tomorrow morning to connect people with help and information. It's from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning at Mission Federal Credit Union offices on Meanly Drive in Scripps Ranch.